As you begin to work with more layers in Photoshop, you're going to want to control which layers are affected by the adjustments that we add. For example, if I add an invert adjustment layer to the top of this layer stack, it's going to affect all of the layers underneath it. The bottom of the layers panel, I'll just choose invert. Because the top layer was selected, it's added above that, and we can see that it's inverted everything. But if I only want the invert adjustment layer to affect the arch photo on the right, then I need to create a clipping mask. I'll change the stacking order by dragging it down so that it appears right above the arch photo, and then choose Layer, and then create Clipping Mask. Now the invert adjustment layer only affects the layer that it's masked to below. I know that it's been clipped because not only can I see the visible results, but in the Layers panel we get the downward pointing arrow, and the base layer of a clipping mask will be underlined. But what if I want to make an adjustment to multiple layers? In this case, all 4 of these arch plate layers. I'll target the top one in the Layers panel, and then I'll add a gradient map. Now, a gradient map adjustment layer is going to remap all of the colors in your image using a gradient. And because my foreground and background are set to black and white, I got a black and white gradient. If I want to make an edit to this, I can click inside of the gradient. That brings up the gradient editor. And I'm going to add a single color stop in the middle of the gradient. So I'll click underneath it. That adds the stop. In order to change the tonal values in the color, I'll double click on the stop. And I want to pick just a red color somewhere around a brightness of 50%. So this will be fine. I'll click OK and OK again. We can see that it's now changed my gradient map. It's going from black through reds to white. But everything underneath the gradient map in the Layers panel is being affected, and I only want it to affect these 4 layers, the arch plates. While I could change the stacking order in the Layers panel, it's going to be much easier for me to select all 4 of these arch plates, and then I'll use Command G on Mac or Control G on Windows in order to place them into a group. I'll call it Small Photos, and then select the gradient map. And again, either choose Layer, Create Clipping Mask, or just hover my cursor between the layer group and the layer, holding down the Option key on the Mac or the Alt key on Windows, and clicking in order to create a clipping mask so that the gradient map adjustment layer only affects the small photos. So there you have it, a quick way to isolate the effects of an adjustment layer so that it only affects specific layers in your document.